Welcome to my little corner of the internet. I am Jessica, also known as Silver in most places here on the World Wide Web. A quick welcome back to all returning viewers. Thank you for coming back every episode. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. I also wanted to say a very quick hello to any new viewers. Thank you for giving my show a shot. It has actually been a very busy couple of weeks, actually, in my little neck of the world there. So I do have a lot to talk about. So let's get started. Grab your drink of choice, your knitting, and away we go. So before I start talking about all the KLs that I'm hosting or will be participating in, I just need to note that I have some boring administrative detail. Gonna be starting. Yeah, I'm going to be starting a new segment that I'm going to be calling "The More You Know." And yes, I did purloin that from the More Girls. Hi, Jasmine and Gigi. Thank you so much for kind of letting me do that. I know you probably don't listen to me, but anyway, there it is. I've actually just started to think about, you know, how many times that I talk about the different KALs and everything like that. So, if I have any administrative details I need to talk about, you'll see me use this in future episodes. Okay. So for today's The More You Know, like I mentioned before, I have been thinking about all of my KALs a lot and how much I repeat information over and over again every week, and I am bored with it. Probably you feel the same. So yeah, we'll go with that. um, my schedule is going to be changing to a once a week schedule in a few weeks, so I didn't want to bore you, let alone me. So you'll see little snippets here and there of the Java longs dash dash and things like that as well. I won't be discussing every little thing every episode. Just yeah, that's just how I am. So yeah, if you needed to go ahead and keep track of all the different KALs that I'm in, definitely head over to www.dreamysilver2112.com. That will have all of these dash dash details, etc. Okay, now that I have made a thorough mess of the project that I am currently trying to work on while I podcast, let's go on to the Java along. This is actually I'm going to speak about this maybe once a month, so you know. So here I go for April. Just so you know, a little bit of detail. The KAL does premiere all the wonderful patterns of CC Almond, also known as Java Pearl. They're on Ravelry. It's going to be a year-long count. Any project that you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that has anything to do with or is inspired by the Geeky Girls podcast, Java Pearl, or Jamie's Doodles, or is basically any one of Java Pearl's designs there on Ravelry, it's not going to be hard to convince me whatsoever. Whips are allowed as long as they have been finished actually in this year. Please feel free to polydip in any other KALs as long as it fits in with any of their rules. Each project you finish and post counts as one entry into the giveaway. You must be a member of the Silver's Dreamland podcast group there on Ravelry to participate. Just post any photos on any social medias using the hashtag SDL Java along, and so that I can definitely find your whips and your FOs. Who knows, you may even be entered in a drawing on random active patterning days. Just a quick update, I have actually added more details of this particular of the Java along both to the FO and chatter threads. They're on Ravelry in our group. I'm going to be linking that directly in our show notes if you have any questions and you just wanted to follow along there. We do have a few prizes that I'm going to be giving away. I'm going to be giving away actually one Java Pearl design pattern every month during the course of the KAL, just to get everyone's collections started. Cece has even donated several to give away as well. So speaking of patterns that I'm going to be giving away, no one actually entered their FOs over the past few weeks. So I'm actually just going to be using a random number generator in both the podcast viewers on Facebook and in the Ravelry group. I'm going to be giving away two separate patterns by Java Pearl. They're on Ravelry. One is going to come from me, and the other one is going to be the first of the ones that CC gave me. So if you do happen to win from the Facebook group and you're just not a knitter, if you message me directly, we'll definitely work something out. So without further ado, March's pattern winners are Leah, they're directly on Facebook, and Laura, also known as Lala. I will be, please just message me directly if you've won, and I will get those prizes out to you directly. Oh, and also, speaking of past winners, I don't think I've actually heard from the February's winner either. So if you are a member of the Ravelry group, please just make sure you go back to episode 19 and give it another listen and just message me directly. That way I can get that out to you. Since it has been over a month, I'm actually going to be earburning you there on Ravelry as well, just as a gentle reminder. Okay. And I will be giving away a copy or digital copy of Cece's book, Coffee with Cece. I've decided I am going to wait until I get to the end of the patterns in the book. I currently have two left after the vanilla latte sock that I'm currently working on. So please make sure you post your FOs soon in there as well. I will also be giving away a physical copy of Cece and Dami's new book, Coffee with Cece and Dami 2, coming on the end of April, and the winners will be pulled directly from the FO thread. So once again, make sure you get your FOs in. Okay, so new for this month, we do have two more wonderful prizes actually donated by the wonderful Nimbrus on Ravelry. If you don't know who she is once the she is the proprietress of Pandia's Jewels and has generously donated a skein of her hand-dyed yarn on her snug base. This is the Highlands colorway, as well as a set of Harley Quinn stitch markers for me to give away during the course of the Java along as well. I haven't quite decided when I am going to be giving away either one of those, but I hope soon. I hope soon. Who knows? It may be during my birth month, because yeah, that's something I do. Um, there's also going to be other prizes I'm going to be giving away later in the year as well, and I will be announcing them as soon as they come in the mail. So, on that note, if you have any crafty items that you would like to donate as prizes, please PM me on Ravelry. I am SilverLuna2112, or you can email me directly at silversdreammapodcast@gmail.com. So the second KAL I'm going to be talking about, it's the police box mystery knit along that I am going to be participating in starting on Saturday. It is actually a 4-week mystery knit along to celebrate the new season of Doctor Who, as well as it being a nod to Peter Garibaldi, who is actually the 12th Doctor. His farewell season is this year. This particular project is going to be a stranded color cowl. Basically, any of the notes that you need to find will be on the Jimmy Bean's discussion board. I'll be linking that directly in the podcast notes as well as a link to my project page for that as well. If you do want to participate, please use hashtag policeboxMKAL, mystery KAL there on the social medias. I'll be checking those directly as soon as everything gets started on Saturday. We have the clue release schedule. Obviously, the first is this Saturday. The 422 is the second, and the third will be showing up on 429, and the last one will be on 5/6. So if you want to participate, it's not too late. The kits that were being sold for it are actually out of sale. I do apologize. But you could definitely use stash yarn. It's always good with straight color work to use stash too. So good stash buster. Stash buster. Wow. Sorry, it was a lot of information to throw at you all at once. And my poor throat. The next KAL that I'm going to be participating, it's probably the biggest one that I participate in a year. It's not the never one that I'm hosting. Sorry. Sorry, Lala, it's all your baby. Um, if you hadn't guessed, Stash Dash 2017. It is that time of year again, basically where I start thinking about my Stash Dash goals and what I would like to enter. For those of you that are not aware of what Stash Dash is, it is a knit crochet weave spin along that the Knit Girls host every year. I'm actually going to link their discussion board from last year that will include the basic rules in the podcast notes so you can see for yourself what I'm actually getting myself into. This year, I have decided that it's going to be a redemption year for my 15K goal again. We don't even really have the start dates for the KAL yet, but we do know it's usually the second or third week in May. I've actually been thinking about all of these minute details of how I'm going to participate since the beginning of the year. So I actually not threw up, but I put up a blog post actually about an hour ago at this point, with regards to all the details that I have for the blog entry. I have to say I've been a little bit crazy about, thinking things through. MT, can definitely attest. I've probably been driving him a bit crazy about this as well. So all of that blog entry directly is on www.dreamysilver2112.com. I'll put that in the podcast notes. You can find it. You'll also be noticing I will be tracking my progress using Netmeter, which is at netmeter.com. It's essentially a way that many knitters and crocheters use to track their yardage in a certain time frame, and it's actually free to use. So if you want to give it a try, go for it. I'll be updating my knit meter often so you can see what I've been up to. This year's Stash Dash knit meter is red, so you'll be able to see it at a glance if you so choose. I'll also be linking that on my Ravelry profile. That way you can find that as well. In addition to using Knitmeter, I have also, like I said, I mentioned, I've written a blog post that will detail projects that I'm going to be entering, the yardage that each project will have, as well as many details as to what I'm calling stopping points for Stash Dash. If I do achieve any one of these goals, I'm actually going to be putting them under my own little separate divider, I guess you can say, between the segments. That way I'm not just overwhelming you with every project throughout the week. I didn't quite make the graphic that I needed to do that for this particular episode, but I wanted to let you know what's coming. I did have one that I got to that quote unquote stopping point you really can't see, but I am using air quotes. Alrighty, off of KALs, let's go to my favorite things. The first. My hair, y'all. I am still in love with my purple hair. Now, just over 2 weeks later, it's still kind of settling in. You could say I am in a purple state of mind. Yes, I definitely have that windswept rock star look going on right now, and I can't be more pleased. Like, look, it's crazy, right? I absolutely love it. And I've gotten so many compliments on how the hair looks. Another thing that I do like is family time. Always a good section to include these, right? But anyway, MTA and I got together with my parents last Saturday night. We went to Sliders after I got out of work. We basically had a grand old time. We had so much fun. And I ended up talking a lot more about work than I normally do when we all get together, especially about the April Fool's joke that our marketing team actually pulled on the general public. Even weeks later, I'm still in awe about how much chatter we got on our social mediums that day. But my loose tongue, I'm actually blaming on the Stella that I drank and how very, very tired I was that day. However, later on in our conversation or hangout with them, I did get scolded by my mom for not calling her to let her know how much fun I had at the family brunch and for making her hear about it in the last episodes. But whatevs. Fun is fun, right? Another thing that I am considering part of my favorite things, I got a large tea shipment. I was enabled by Jilly of the Knitted Broomstick. Oh my gosh. Like, look at this amount of tea, y'all. I did get a 4 pack of tea that is Beauty and the Beast themed. They are in the middle there. They're so cute. I actually got 2 different 4 packs. One is actually going to be staying at work and can be enjoyed by everyone at work if they so choose. In that pack was an orange and cinnamon spice. There was a pure peppermint. Oh, they all smell so good. Chamomile, honey, and vanilla and lemon ginger are the 4 flavors. Oh, they smell so good. They taste really good too. Also in this shipment was also some more twining tea flavors. The French vanilla chai tea in a K-cup pod version. Version. Excuse me. I have to say that's a hit even with MTI. He's not very a big tea drinker, but he really did appreciate that. I also got a straight up chai tea and a Christmas tea as well. There is also a couple brands of stash that I found too that I really liked. They are the pumpkin spice, the vanilla honey brush, the sunny orange ginger. Oh, they all smell so good. I wish I could like drink tea all the time, but all of those have like black tea a bit too in the background of it, so I need to stop with the caffeine at times. Also, there's also another company called Yogi Tea. I did get the vanilla spice perfect energy flavor. Oh, does it smells so good. Sorry for the background noise. Mario decided he wanted to try to take out the couch again. So yeah, I had to, get him down. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So another thing that I actually thoroughly enjoy are the bits of enabling that I've had this week, couple weeks. Three different, two different shipments came in, one from Nitpicks and one from Webs. In Nitpicks, I definitely had an issue with my ball winder and I was sick of not having it. So I went ahead and got another ball winder from them, as well as these cute little like antique silver floral swirl buttons is what they call it. I totally intend to use these on my Lush cardigan once I finally finish it, and I will explain more about that later on. Also, there was some yarny goodness that happened to fall into my cart, of course. A few of these, actually, a majority of these are for MTI. He has expressed interest in knitted socks. So instead of using the two that I've already worked on, plus one that I've kind of got on the needles right now, he said he really likes green colorways. So we got him the Mountain Pass stroll fingering. We also ended up getting some cucumber as well as the Pacific stroll and the canopy. Absolutely gorgeous. And of course, I couldn't get a large amount of yarn for just him, right? My inner geek saw these next three in the list of yarns that they had, and I decided, okay, I've always wanted to try some Felicia. So I got the Time Traveler. Oh, yeah. And then the baskets, yeah, Baker Street Felicia. Yes, I can't read my own handwriting. I'm sorry, guys. And also the Wizard Felicia as well. Absolutely gorgeous. Aren't those gorgeous? Oh, so gorgeous. Anyway, I also did get in the web shipment, there was a little bit of yarny in there as well. I've got three of the three Cascade 220 turquoise colorways. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. I'm planning on making more Kit Kat hats because these seem to be very popular around where I work, and I wanted some turquoise for myself, so there it is. And I also got some strawberry cream as well to make more Kit Kat hats. In the same shipment, actually, the reason for going to Webs this time around was to get a bunch of needles so I can start swatching for different projects. And then that way I don't have to worry about trying to figure out where each of my needles are. I can just kind of keep going, especially with stockpiling all the projects up for Stash Dash. I ended up getting mostly Knitter's Pride Nova Cubics Platina, most specifically in the 24-inch cable length, size 7, size 6, size 4, and size 3. I also got some fun ones for myself. I got a size 6 and a size 4 40-inch Knitter's Pride Marbles needles. They're so gorgeous. And I couldn't stop staring at them, so they jumped in my cart. What are you gonna do? It's not my fault. They pretty. All right. So let's move on to the pitiful amount of FOs I had over the past couple weeks. But then again, you already know why. I did a couple of washcloths. See, 1 and 2. And the pattern is the Grandma's Favorite Dishcloth by Ruth Slate. Since it is a weekly deal, you'll be seeing a lot of these even throughout the course of the summer. I'm using the Burnout Cotton Candy Collection Spicy Colorway. It's a size US 6 Marbles 24-inch circs that I'm using on all of these because I straight needles and I just can't get along. And yeah, there it is. Um, there are a few things that, a few things. I'm not gonna lie. There are a lot of works in progress that I touched this week. I had a bit of what I'm calling knitting ADD. I pretty much worked on quite a bit. I just can't help myself sometimes. So thank you for your patience. So I did have one thing that was new since last time, and the yarn was just calling my name, so it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I'm calling this project Where Are You Leading Me, Mario? Where you lead, I will follow. I've found myself saying that so many times to him over the past couple weeks because he seems like he wants to lead me down the stairs or lead me up the stairs or what have you. Um, but if you hadn't figured it out, the pattern itself is called Where You Lead, I Will Follow by CC Almond. The yarn is Inner Yarn Zen Superwash Fingering in the Old Muddy River Bridge Knit-a-thon colorway. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. And if you don't know, that is actually a reference to one of the Gilmore Girls episodes, as is the Where You Lead, I Will Follow is their theme song. I absolutely loved this pairing and could not wait to get started. I'm using a size US 2 16-inch circulars, which is my usual method. But I just have a toe. But there it is. It's a toe. It matters. It counts. Some of the other things that I have been working on that have been on the needles for quite a while. The first I am calling Cindy Loves a Kit Kat. I did actually a few more rows on the ribbing. I'll just have to keep going. I literally just remembered that I had it on the needles and had to do a couple rounds. So it counts, right? The pattern for this one is the Kit Kat hat by Andre Sue. The color that I'm currently using on it is called Coffee. It is a Red Heart Super Saver colorway. There will be a cream color for little paw prints that I want to put on there later. I have to still chart that out. I am so bad. A bad podcaster award. Ugh. Anyway, I'm using a size 6s for the ribbing, which is what I'm currently working on, and a size 7 for the main body. The next thing that actually got quite a bit of love, and believe it or not, this happened all in one day. It's called Bringing the Boom. Did quite a bit. um, where you see the needles are. It's kind of where I was in the middle of the rotation, but anywho's the pattern is called Copper Boom by Scrappy Daisy Knits. This is the Peruvian print by Red Heart on a size US 8, 29-inch circulars. Oh, unbelievable. I love this colorway. I could not wait to get back to that particular project. But as I said, there are so many things on the needles that, must come first. Yes. Speaking of projects that have been on the needles for quite some time, this is called All This Red is Knitting Up Like Butter. I did about 5 pattern rotations since the last time we talked of this little outside edging of the 3 colors. It's actually what I'm currently working on. Basically, as I am recording and editing, I really do hope to be through this next pattern rotation. Hopefully by the end of the day, but we'll see how that goes. And speaking of which, I'm actually distracted as we talk by an increase. Okay, there we go. The pattern is called the Color Affection by Vera Valimaki. Said it right that time, guys. Yay! Anyway, I'm using Dreaming Color Smushy in the Butter Peeps, which is the cream color. Lipstick Lava and Miami Red are the two red colors. Using a size US 4's 40-inch circulars. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. I love the combination of these colors together. I'm doing the short rowing section with the three color stripes. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. I'm sorry, I can't stop staring at it as it's in my on my hands right now, which is probably a bad idea, right? Another one that I am working on, I'm calling the Morticia's Bat Wings. I did get up to 150 total stitches this past couple weeks, but bad podcaster that I am, I don't know where the bag went with it because it's been so long. Sorry, don't hate me. Anyway, the pattern is called the Yowza Weight Shawl number 2 by Susan B. Anderson. I am using a colorway called Morticia, which is the Miss Babs Yowza skein. It is being done on a size US 9 60-inch Chigu needles that I'm using. Uh, it's absolutely gorgeous, guys. I really wish I had found a way to get a picture up there for you, but you can see the very beginnings of it, so that's all that matters, right? All right, let me take a quick drink because like I said, a few more projects on the needles to talk about. Okay, so the next project that I have on the needles, I am calling Ribbing Mark. Essentially, I had a frog pond moment since we last talked. As you see before, I had just the cast on and a few rows, and that I can fit it in my hand. I realized about getting through 2 pattern rotations. I don't think that it was big enough with 60 stitches, which is what the pattern actually called for. Yeah, essentially it was not big enough. I had MTI try it on and it did not even get over his instep. Never mind his heel, which is what I was hoping for. And I kept hoping, but then I saw, you know what? Let me just try it. And yeah, so ribbit. So now I have 70 stitches that I am knitting on. 70 stitches seems to work out fine now for for his foot size and everything like that. So that's perfect. So yay. The pattern itself is called the Weasley Rib by Erica Luter. I'm using a Trekking XXL colorway. Color number is 578. As I mentioned last time, I'm using my size US 2 6-inch Knit Picks Harmony Wood DPNs. Oh, that's part of the reason why it's going slow, but honestly, I love those DPNs too, so they're very pretty. They're very pretty. The next thing that I am actually working on is called Wings on My Feet. It is the French Vanilla Cappuccino Socks by CC Almond. I'm using a Woolmize Pure colorway called Wings on My Feet. I am using a size US 2 9-inch circulars on the foot and all of the heel. And then I did switched over to a 1.5 9-inch circulars on the leg and up to the ribbing as well. Obviously, I'm just past the heel, but I eventually will be putting them onto my Natural Woods 1.5 16 inches circulars. That way I can go ahead and comfortably fit the ribbing. Okay, so the next thing that I have been working on, I am calling Ketter Dance. This particular project is actually done until Stash Dash starts. I'm basically on to the outside patterning rows, which is completely awesome. Absolutely gorgeous pattern by Lala. It's called Ketter Dam. The yarn that I'm using is by the Unwind Yarn Company people. Oh, absolutely gorgeous colors. It is called Let's Do the Time Warp Again. And if you don't know, that's a Rocky Horror Picture Show reference. Absolutely one of my favorite movies that I have to watch like at least once or twice a month. Well, maybe not a month, but once or twice every couple of months. I'm using a size US 7 cubics Latina needles. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. The next thing that I have been working on is called the Bella Coffee Shell. I'm about halfway through the last green patterning section. What you're seeing there actually was quite a bit back, and don't hate me, I didn't get another photo. Oopsie. Oh, absolutely gorgeous either way. If you can see down the bottom of the picture now, that's the section I'm working on, but up top. So I am now onto the third pattern rotation officially. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Like, look at the size of this thing. Right here. Yeah, it's about 7 or 8 inches longer than that now. Quite a bit. But anyway, the pattern itself is called the Coffee Date by CC Almond. I'm using 3 different colors. The first is on the Plucky Knitter Bellow base, which is the Putty on My Feet is what it's called. The next one's on the single base, which is the Give a Hoot. Hoot hoot. And the last one is Primo Fingering, also by Plucky Knitter, in the Enchantment colorway. I have been using a size 3 40-inch circular needles on that one as well. And of course, what kind of podcaster would I be and doing a weekly goal of 1 washcloth a month if I didn't at least cast on the next one, right? Once again, this pattern was the Grandma's Favorite Dishcloth by Ruth Slate in the Bernat's Cotton Candy colorway collection, the spicy colorway. I have to tell you, I'm getting sick of that colorway, but it is good timing because I have just enough yarn left for 2 more, and that's it. So hopefully that's the last time you have to hear that one, right? But yes, I am, like I said, using a size US 6 Marvel's 24-inch circulars, so you know. Okay, so I do have a little bit to discuss in needle adjacent this time. Basically, with all of the older works in progress that I've been working on, I've actually been dreaming of new projects that I want to work on next, especially since I haven't been casting on any new projects. Well, not many anyway. I want to quote unquote try to be good. You didn't see that, but yes, I did use air quotes. But we'll see how long this lasts, right? I have absolutely been dreaming about moving on with the Wibbly Wommy Timey Wimey socks as well as the watermelon socks that I started last summer. They had been calling my name enough that I moved them over to my side on my right hand side, whereas all my projects that I'm kind of ADD momenting through, I guess if you can say. Um, but yeah, I moved it to that pile of projects. I also wanted to move on to do other CC patterns as well, mostly to keep the Java along moving, but also I kind of want more patterns. So the next thing I also want to do a larger project. I want to do a Lush, which is a cardigan. I am trying not to do anything for it but swatch up until November for NaNoSwimo. And if you don't know what NaNoSwimo is, it stands for National Knit a Sweater in a Month. Cal. I really haven't decided if I wanted to participate, as it would be my first cardigan that I ever will make. But I think I can push myself to do that, right? But yeah, so basically, this is going to be my carrot essentially for finishing stuff during Stash Dash. So we'll see how well that works, right? Another thing that I really, really, really should start soon, and MTI has been absolutely bugging me to get started because he knows how long it's going to take me to finish it, is the wedding shawl for his brother-in-law's new wife-to-be, I guess you would say. I want to finish this, and I've made a deadline for myself of August 15th. This way I do have time to wash and block this for the recipient, so obviously it looks nice and pretty before I give it to her. I also want to do another coffee date shawl. I've had the yarn for so long. and everything that I need for it. And I think we're going to use this as another carrot for finishing things during the summertime. So wish me luck. I really, really hope I can keep to that, right? Ugh, pardon me while I take a quick drink here. For some reason, my throat is dry. I guess that's what happens when you try to talk through all of that in a small amount of time. So, what you reading and listening to, Silver? Um, quite a bit actually. I have been reading so much that I have finished a lot of books. To be honest, though, everything that I finished over the past couple weeks is like romance novels, and I couldn't remember all of the titles even to save my life. But if you want a complete list, I actually am on Goodreads as Silver Luna there. So if you want to go ahead and see what I've been up to, you can. They'll all be listed there under my goals for the year. I am so far ahead of my goal. It's amazing. I put a goal of 60. I think I'm at like 70% of that goal now. Um, but yeah, it's okay. I always up it at least twice over the course of the year. It's just how I read. But yeah, anyway, so currently I am reading quite a bit in terms of physical Kindle books. I'm reading a book called Seducing the Bride. It's by Michelle McMaster. It's kind of a Regency England book. I haven't really gotten too far into it, so I couldn't tell you what's going on, except for the fact that I think that there is a pirate cat or something like that going on. I don't really know. I'll let you know how it was later, especially since I teased you with that. I am listening to two different audiobooks right now. Mostly this first one has been catching my attention. It's called If Not For You by Debbie Macomber. Oh, I absolutely love this book so far. Basically, what happens is that the main character, the woman that is involved, she gets into a car accident, and the guy ends up sitting with her and trying to talk her through everything and basically encourages her to, stay alive and all this good stuff too, and they end up falling in love. And I find myself a lot of the time during the book going, oh, like you know how you do. It's just like every once in a while it's cute, and the reader does a really good job of trying to distinguish the two voices as well. Debbie Macomber has definitely the queen of writing two different points of view when it comes to the male and female side of things. The other thing that I have been listening to is still the complete Sherlock Holmes. It's actually being read by Simon Vance. I have just started the third volume. I did just finish The Hound of the Baskervilles, and I am currently diving into The Adventure of the Empty House. Let's just put it this way, I started that just after the other story, the Hound of Baskerville, and haven't gotten too far, so I don't really know what happened. Boy, I should get on that. So, yes. So, what you watching, Silver? Quite a bit actually. Let's start off with the movie that I decided I wanted to watch randomly. I love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies, especially by Whoopi Goldberg. If you haven't been able to tell, Sister Act. I was in that mood. Don't know why, but there I was. I also have been binge watching True Blood. I'm currently up to season 5. I think episode 3 is the one I finished last night before I headed to bed. Um, but a lot of what has been taking up my viewing and slash listening time have been podcasts. A lot of awesome people that I've caught up with this week that I usually watch every week. Round the Twist was on, also the knitting broomstick, sorry. I have to say, Jilly, I totally geeked out when you mentioned my Java along. So hi, Julia. Thank you so much. Julia. Oi, sorry. Jilly. Oi, where is my head today, right? I also caught up with Innis Knit, the Knit Girls. So Lala, I am glad you are sort of on the mend. I guess getting in the middle of girls is a lot better than, or a lot more difficult than I thought it was when it comes to fighting. Oops. I guess I'll have a better appreciation of the couple of teachers that got in the middle of a few of our fights in elementary and high school. Anyway, I also caught up on Knit the Books, Yarn Hoarder episode, as well as the Sock Knit Zombie episode. I also did watch the latest Geeky Girls Knit episode up until, well, this is last week's episode. Like, been a week, guys. I swear. I also have been keeping up with CC's SSS Veda daily vlogs. They're amazing, guys. They basically, she and a bunch of vloggers have been recording every day about random topics. Sometimes they go on a specific, this is what the prompt is. Sometimes they just do what they want, which is cool. It's really cool. I do appreciate it. She got a chance to address a few things that people have been asking her over the years, so that's awesome. I have also been binge watching the Knitmar Girls and their podcast library. I started at episode 1 again and have gone all the way up to episode 61 now. I honestly wish that when I had found them originally, I had been listening to and just kind of caught up rather, because they were just super awesome. I find that I am listening to Jasmine and Gigi pretty much religiously, trying to soak up all the knowledge that they have. Sometimes I feel like I just want to lick their brains, but that would be gross. I'm sorry. Hi, Jasmine. Hi, Jasmine. Hi, Gigi. Thank you so much for keep continuing with your podcast. It's amazing. So, also this week, I have found several audio podcasts from ladies here in Connecticut, which just made me smile. Ah, they're completely awesome. The first one I found was called The Commuter Knitter. Now, Jen is super awesome and personable. She has a very long drive to and from work and decided she was going to start talking about her knitting and things like that on her way there. It's a new concept, and I have to say I expected like a little bit of road rage because we in Connecticut are apparently kind of crazy when it comes to road rage, according to few people in my family. But anyway, I have to admit she does a pretty good job of curbing her tongue or editing out whatever she doesn't want us all to hear, which is awesome. But I really do like her podcast, and I do appreciate anyone that wants to go by and just kind of like listen to her. She's amazing. I literally found her 3 days ago, and I think I have gotten through three-quarters of her back episodes, which is awesome. The next podcast that I found was called Pearls and Pages. Now, this is being hosted as their two co-hosts, Lauren, sorry, and Amber. They are pretty awesome as well. They have no qualms about calling each other on their purchases and things that they said, oh, we're not going to do. At one point, one of them was like, I call shenanigans on that one. So basically, they do a lot of talking about the books that they're reading and the knitting that they're doing as well, which essentially makes my book loving heart sing. So well done, ladies. I cannot wait to hear more from you. I'm about 3 episodes behind you guys now, so don't worry about that. I'll catch up in short order. Wow, sorry about the noise, guys. So, I'm pretty social. You can find me on our Ravelry board, which is Silver's Dreamland Podcast. I am Silver Luna 2112 there. On Facebook, Silver's Dreamland can be found at www.facebook.com/Silver's Dreamland. On Instagram, I am both Silver's Treats and Silver's Dreamland. However, I do tend to message things out from Silver's Treats more often, so please message me there if you need me. On Twitter, I am at Silver's Knitting. I do tend to read through all messages as soon as I possibly can. If you do not hear from me within 24 hours, please feel free to email me directly at silversdreamland@gmail.com. Now, before I let you go, I just want to say real quick, thank you so much for listening to my rambliness today, because I know I have talked a lot. Um, if anyone is interested, I'm trying to put together a worldwide knit in public event here in upstate Connecticut. If anyone is interested in that, please let me know. I think I have a location in mind. The location itself, they are getting back to me with the particulars of what I need to let you all know. But it is most likely going to be at Plainville High School. But just let me know if you're interested, and we'll go from there. So anyway, I have rambled on for long enough. I know your time is valuable. Please just feel free to join in any discussion or even start one of your own on the Ravelry board. I don't bite, I promise, and I do love to hear from everyone. So stay tuned for episode 23 on the 26th. Until next time, happy knitting all!